Your surname is
Mundia.
Mundia
is my surname. Mukubesa is my first name. But now I feel like Tupac in that.
Okay, this is how we start. Welcome to the podcast. My podcast is called Mic'd Up with PK. Normally there is like a two-person short, and I'm in the short as well, but I was trying to make sure I get you before you go. And today we have like a bunch of people in the room. So I hope they can throw in some questions. I want to get started with you. I think you've been doing music forever. I think you've been doing music as far as I can remember that I like music, and I heard something from you even from like back in the days. How long have you been doing it? When did you start officially?
Okay, to start with, let me say my first album was 2005, so it's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That was like when I started working on my own. But before that, of course, I was just a songwriter and featuring on other people's songs. As far as 2002, so I can say officially is about 23 years.
Okay. What are some of the projects that you worked with other people before you started?
For example, like Good Night by Crazy. Good night, baby. I'll see you tomorrow. I wrote that. Yeah. Mwembe muntu vo bwereka bwereka. Yeah. Work with Bob Mabege Poor Finishing. Yeah.
Okay. What made you get into it? Did you have interest like from a young age?
I think in high school. Before I went to high school, maybe I used to be one of those kids that at the age 14 or 12 you're participating at a variety show for secondary schools. Kuakulu, and then after that in high school, I think my first love was DJing, which I think I'm still very good at.
Did you actually do it?
Yeah, I used to do that. Like when I was in grade 10, I was playing for Livers Bowl. When grade 12 complete school.
What was your DJ name?
That's Western Province.
What was your DJ name?
My name?
Yeah, your DJ name.
That was D Luzato.
Luzato.
Yeah, MM Crazy Pure Futa. So yeah, and after I completed, I think I tried a lot of times to try to get on radio in Lusaka, but it was quite
as a
radio
DJ.
presenter.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
But it was quite very hard because mostly you go for auditions.
Yeah.
Mostly the auditions were just for formality's sake. They already picked someone else.
Yeah.
And then for somebody who was in high school in Western Province, you already find guys that way in Ibala, DK, already in Lusaka, and most of the people on radio are their peers from high school, so they're just connecting.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I think interest now to write music. Because probably maybe when I would be sitting at home listening to Zambian music, because it was just in its early stages, I could listen and hear some musicians that I was thinking like, I think I can do this, or maybe even better.
Yeah.
And then then I started, and when I wrote one or two songs that made it for others, I realized I could do it as well.
Yeah.
But mainly, I really got into the music industry so that I could just pay for my school, for my university fees. I was doing accounting.
Okay.
So I needed something that was able to give me money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that go? What were some of your like first projects that you worked on during that time?
That's the time I worked with Crazy, and I think when I was working with Crazy for the Good Night album, then it was the first time I got paid from music, and I was like, wow, so this pays. That's like 2002, like first payment, and then you see, I was able to buy, I think, a Franco book for accounting. Pay for my first subscription at Zaga.
Yeah.
To have that accounting number and all that. Then you're like, I can do this. Then when 2005, 2 years later or 3 years later, when I kind of made it, it was a different story now. I never had time to sit in class. You remember that the first time that I made it, I think that's the first time I was introduced to traveling going outside town every weekend and even traveling the world. And
Yeah. So I hear you talking accounts, because normally when someone does music, it's almost like they failed at what they were doing. But I hear you talking accounts and whatnot, meaning
I think
you're
that's a stereotype and misconception about
Yeah.
radio presenters and people that make music. A lot of people think because they failed on something. Most of these people are quite intelligent and they quite did well in their school. It could be just maybe you don't have a family that is ready to sponsor you and take you to university, and you have to figure out you don't have a giving up mind.
Yeah.
So you start looking for something to do, and then if you're creative like that, you go into a creative world. But I don't know where people got the idea that if you go into music or acting or radio, then you failed something. Because I meet a lot of not so well in the brain people.
Yeah.
That are not musicians.
So you say part of the reason you started doing it
For me was
is
really
so
to
that
pay
you
for my
pay
school.
for your school. But then
But when the music happened,
Yeah.
there was no time for me to go to school.
right.
I ended up now started helping my cousins, my nieces, my nephews into college and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I got comfortable because I think I was what makes people look for life or for survival. I was already having it.
Yeah.
And it was proving to be something I could handle without effort.
Yeah. What was the project that you worked on and you felt like this is actually working? I don't need to do anything else. In terms of your own music career,
I'll tell
when
you,
started.
I'm one of the few, if there is any, that has ever done a song and places have been named about it. There is a place like Nyaule Market because of my song.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've actually never thought of that.
Yeah. Because it used to play there. And across Zambia, dotted wide, there are a lot of places where it's called Pamnyaule because of that song. And you should remember that I made it at 21 years old. So I was quite on a very tender age. So you have to teach yourself on how to stay away from alcohol abuse, you know, everything you practically just had to teach yourself.
Your music, most of your music has been like activism, talking about real life situations in society. What made you go in that direction?
Okay, so for me, really, there are 4 artists that I was watching and created the Petersen that people know. There's MC Wabwino, there's Dan Kaya, General Ozzy, and John White. Which I told myself, because I'm not the artist that has got that sweet voice. I have a voice that can sing or rap and do what, but it's just there.
Yeah.
I had to create content to it. So I had to add some components to it. Get the energy of MC Wabwino and the tone. Get the melodies of General Ozzy, got the aggressiveness of John White, and of course just got the mindset of Dan Kaya and try to be as perfect as that. So for me, I am what I am because of these 4 people. And yeah, I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah, anyway, I'm still trying to get the songs that you did and you felt like I think I'm an artist now. I'm big.
Yeah, so
people know me.
The first time my album came out, I think the most successful songs were 3 songs.
Yeah.
There was Nyaule, there was Ono, which is still a banger up to date. I think it's timeless. Ono, and then there was Promise that Blair laughs about because there was Shore in it. Yeah, so I had 3 songs that took me places. My first album saw me travel the world, like the first time I flew to Australia, the first time I came to London, the first time I went to South Africa was just within that first album. And then from there, I went into a phase that maybe I always pray almost every artist go through that, where your music stops playing and you're no longer there and other people are happening. And you have to go back to the drawing board to recreate yourself and come back with something. So I went through that phase, I think, starting the beginning of 2007 to the end, where I had even to move to the to the Copper Belt and stayed with Daliso and started recreating another album from there. So that process really taught me to work harder, because it was during that time when the music industry had changed from just being Zambian. Because you should understand that when the current music industry started, like in 1995, 90, people were just supporting it because it's made in Zambia. Maybe the person who really made an album that people could say we are listening to it because it's good music was Zimas. The rest was just because it's a Zambian song. Today you play it, it sounds like what was happening. Then came Alubusu, who's like, I rate him as the first person to ever make a banger that you're not forcing it on people, but people just know that Gwilapanyumba is a big song. Then came the Crops of JK. So after I came, then came a time that we had artists really trying to put up music that is proper. It's not just being supported because it's Zambian, but because it's good. Like Chameleon, Hamoa, which was Namanje, and the whole group of Slang Beats, and also Israel. It was just time when we had Kanji, Mampi, like a very vibrant and very good crop of musicians making music. So now you go back to the drawing board to create music that's able to.
Yeah. Do you feel the Zambian music industry has ever had a sound that is Zambian?
Yeah.
Because when you talk about people like Daddy Zimas was working mostly with people like Mainza. So Mainza is like the R&B guy. Daddy Zimas is rapping on the song. Which one do you feel like has been a sound that
the
you
backbone
can describe
of
as...
whatever everyone is making in Zambia? We always called it dunka dunka, but you should realize that it's mostly closer to a reggaeton pattern. And there was a time that we even had a lot of people from East African countries trying to get that sound. Recently, the new crop of artists recently for the trends, the sound that is coming up from Nigeria, or the Amapiano and all that, and you want to go with that. But the original drum pattern really for what we call Zambian music is more of a reggaeton, but with a Zambian donation to it.
What do you think about? Don't you think music like Kalindula is more Zambian? Like does that type of music need to come back?
It's traditional Zambian music. It's not contemporary. It's not commercial. It suffered very much from rumba. The time that Kalindula music was at its peak, it was suffering from rumba. We as a nation were colonized by rumba music. The biggest people that did tours in our countries were Awilo Longomba, Defao, Kofi Olomide, and everything. When there's a Congolese show,
it's packed.
And it was quite very hard for us to have a party, a house party, or any celebration on Kalindula music. But when the newer crop of Zimas, JK, MC Wabuino, Chameleon, all this group came up, we're able to hold the party with just Zambian music. It's only now, in the recent time, that now Nigerian music is finding its way again, or a sound like Amapiano and what is finding its way into the industry. Between 2004 and 2015, it was quite very hard for any sound outside Zambia to make it when the Zambian music playlist has started.
You are one of the Zambian artists that has had some footprint in other parts of Africa other than Zambia. What do you think was unique about you that made people from outside Zambia resonate with your music? Because obviously they don't understand the language.
Yeah, so I think with music, there's good music being produced every day, everywhere. And we've reached an era where people don't go out there to look for music. So if people have to accept your music, either, for example, in Kenya or in Namibia or Malawi or anywhere else outside your country, you actually have to take your music there. The Congolese figured it out a long time ago, so they created Shantemba in almost every Southern African country. So wherever you go, you find the Shantemba, and you actually find the music there.
Yeah.
So it's easier for Congolese artists to tour because they actually create. Even here, you'll find a lot of clubs that are known for Congolese music because they themselves take that as a responsibility to sell their own music.
Yeah.
So as an artist, for you to be known in any other country, you probably have to make those travels. There was a time I delivered, like 2008 and 2011, I think that time around, I took it upon myself to take myself to all these countries and take my music personally. I remember one trip I went to the first to Malawi. I packed that time around it was a CD era. So I packed a suitcase of just CDs, like about 80 of them. My plan was that I'm gonna leave 40 of them in Malawi, in Lilongwe, and 40 in Blantyre. But the first night that I arrived there and started distributing, everything finished in Lilongwe. So I went back to Zaga. Like I told myself I'll make another trip, but straight to Blantyre.
Yeah.
I stayed there for a month or trying to plan my next trip. Before I could plan, I was receiving calls now to go and perform in Malawi. And I toured that country from Blantyre all the way to Karonga top. I did the same trip for Namibia. Same time, around 2009, 2010. I remember the first trip I stayed there for one week, started it, went back home, got again the same CDs thing, traveled there, I stayed 2 weeks, I left, I did another trip, and I started working with musicians from there, and then now getting to know artists from there. And I think it worked. Before I realized it, I was touring, I was winning awards. I wrote one song that I featured on for a girl called Linda, which is still big up to now, trends on TikTok, I believe, and it's big in Uganda as well.
Yeah.
And won about 6 awards. But I realized that you actually have to make these trips. I went to Uganda the first time because I took myself there. So everything that people would know about me because I did that.
Yeah.
But I think when you have a bigger team and everything like that, a network, probably you don't really have to travel, but just use the people on the ground there to push your stuff. But it's always good to be there to see for yourself and like just receive reports. Yeah, but that's what I think what makes everyone make it. If you speak to a lot of people that have opened doors, they had to travel or they had to connect with people that are outside there. Yeah. And this is quite a lesson that a lot of Zambians should understand. Almost everyone in the diaspora, that music don't make itself there. It makes itself there because there are Zambians pushing it. So like right now, the biggest shows in Zambia of Congolese are organized by Congolese in Zambia.
Right.
So it's not like somebody just wakes up and does a show for Congolese and a Congolese artist to do, but actually the people from there. You see this from recently. We just had a Nyama Choma show with an artist from Kenya, organized by Kenyans based in Zambia. Yeah. So it's like that. It takes people from there.
You are one of the people that are now doing festivals in Zambia. How did your festival do this year? You had one this year, didn't it?
Yeah.
How was that?
The fourth one is quite better than the first 2 and 3.
Yeah.
The third one was better than the first 2 combined. This one was quite better. This one, what we wanted to do is give the picture of what we're trying to show people where we are headed. And we did our stage, we did our venue, we did our advertising, and we had the numbers that we wanted. And we are getting there. This is the 4th one. So for a festival, I think you give it about 7 years to 10 years for you to start making, realizing something. Yeah.
In terms of coming up with it, what was the decision that made you come up with it?
Mostly it's because there's a certain way that you want shows to be done, especially for Zambian artists.
Yeah.
Every time we have such a stage in Zambia, it's because they've called another outside artist to come, and then they bring Zambian artists to it. But now we're trying to do something with just the Zambian artists. And the biggest issue why we create that is because 20 years ago or 15 years ago, when we were still young and doing this, the people that were following us and supporting us, they were in high school or they just started being employed. They didn't have the money, but they are supporting us. Today, they are the people that are settled, comfortable, and have these farms and plots and what. They have the money and they want to enjoy the music they've always liked when they were young. So we are creating concerts and festivals that suit them. We are not going to take them to a venue that is below par, music that is not well. So we produce a concert for them.
You are one of the artists who has spoken out when certain things are happening in the country. But I don't think we've heard you talk about the economic situations in Zambia in a minute.
Yeah,
Why is it that, do you think things are good? Things are okay now?
The biggest, not really. One of the reasons is that I do not hold the title deeds for speaking out in Zambia. Really, anyone else can do it.
Yeah.
And second is that you grow up and you have other responsibilities. Your kid, you want to see them go to school tomorrow and like fighting unnecessary fights. Early before that, probably there was no responsibility. You're just living your life. So you're answerable to yourself. Now I have 4-year-old and 10-year-old and 15-year-old and 19 years old that in college, and they're looking for daddy to provide something tomorrow, and like daddy is at court. Secondly is because probably years ago the system was able to tolerate hearing other views. I for example, Anyandule, when I did it, I was just hearing stories from people, oh, they've banned the song, but I never felt any pinch. You understand? And the time that I was doing all that music, I think the system was not really politically excited. It is the time that I was still doing like the biggest adverts for a parastatal company like COZ, which is owned by the government, but I was still getting jobs there without the system feeling like this one sings against the government. That wasn't a topic. I was touring with Ministry of Education and all that. But after that, I think I started studying on how probably what one of my friends, Pilato, went through when he started doing that also, looking at how the terrain changed every now and then. So I think it's all about if the system is tolerating to hear other views without it feeling shaken. So it's good to read the terrain.
Yeah. So are you saying it doesn't look like we'll hear you do any social commentary type of songs?
It's not just part of my concerns now. Yeah, I've opted to, because you see, I'll give you an example. When you do it for quite a longer time, you realize what kind of music brings you money and what doesn't bring you money. I did a song called Msia Topinge, which is like, it was
during the HIV pandemic.
I fought stigma against people that need to be on medication, because a long time ago people were afraid to just be on medication because they are stigmatized and people are laughing at them. I did such a song, which is quite a good song, but it never brought me anything. I wrote proposals to all these people that advocate for ARVs and fight against AIDS and everything like that. Nothing came on my table. But when I do a song about Mnyaule, as an artist, I make my coins and my money. So under normal circumstances, where do you put your brain? On something that's just going to be there hanging, not bringing anything sensible, or something that really sees you get something to go with home. So now comes with the issue also with the same political songs or social commentary and everything like that. You realize that it doesn't, I can't even make a show where people can come and watch the same songs that people want to talk about to say, oh, this social commentary can't bring. The song that brings people for a show is Musia, is for example Nilaveko, Wind Your Body, and all these other songs. A song that people call Conscious is not making people leave home, put fuel in their car, drive to go and listen to a song that is talking about you need to be on your ARVs. But if I'm saying pull down your panty, people wanna step out and come and party.
So you do what works.
Of course.
Okay. I have a room full of people. I'm trying to get questions if people have questions for you. They've seen this person perform for the longest time. Anyone to go?
Okay. I got a question for Petersen Zagaze.
Yes,
Petersen
Arabic.
Zagaze.
Yeah.
Petersen Zagaze, someone that I think would be considered a pioneer, especially when it comes to Zambian dancehall and just the growth of Zambian music. Well, like, what's your take on just the fact that at times it seems like Zambian music does not cross beyond certain borders other than just the neighboring countries? When you have artists from, say, for example, West Africa get to release a song in a day or two, and that song is trending, you know. And as an artist yourself, someone that's constantly getting to create content every single day, you kind of like feel like Zambian music is just boxed in this room with a ceiling board that will not let, you know, the vents open.
There's a threshold.
Yeah, it's not like there's just this ceiling board that will not let you surpass that particular point. What would you say is probably one of the biggest challenges that even you yourself, you would say you kind of like have faced, and the Zambian music industry itself is facing, from getting to grow beyond the specs and the norms that, you know, we kind of like feel like we could break into? Yeah.
Okay, so there are two things that I've realized about the music industry. First and foremost, I want to explain that it is very possible for an artist to be very big at home and nowhere outside the home. And it's very possible for somebody to be a nobody at home but very big outside.
Yeah.
I can give you an example of Zone Farm.
Yeah.
There was a time that they were very big, but they were never closer to Danny at home. You know how big Danny was,
Yeah.
or Danny is at home. And there are also other artists, like almost every country has got that artist that is big at home but not big out there, or big out there but not big at home. So there are two playing fields here. You can push your music home. I think that's the first step, but you need to get out there and know how it works. So for us, for example, for I think I figured that this out a long time ago, but I think I just took a break for a long time away from being very active and pushing. There was a time that I even saw that I'm breaking boundaries. I think I kind of penetrated the East African market and the Southern African market. I was just waiting to start now trekking to West Africa. But I think two things happened. I got married, and then I went into school. I was doing my bachelor degrees in public administration. I think the 4 years into the other 3 years when I got into politics really held quite a lot of things being possible. But I understand that if I am to be challenged to say, are you able to make yourself big Africa-wise, I think I know how to do that. The only thing is that I need to make sure that as I go out there to push, because what is out there is network, and this network is not going to follow you. But this network is not cheap. It's going to cost you money. You go there with equipped and ready to face the budgets, because every person you want to talk about with, you want to do a collaboration with someone, you want to do a radio tour in any other country outside Africa, outside Zambia, what they are asking you is, what is your budget? So everything has to, but if you have all this budget, I think you have people that are able to start running in Cameroon right now. If you're trying to say, I want to do a radio tour in Cameroon, I want to have my music play in Cameroon for the next 2 months. It's just a matter of you giving you a budget. This is what it's going to cost. We are able to get through Nani, whoever is from there, and is a force to work with in Cameroon. So when they give you the budget and you actually have that and you send it over, I think everything can start running even before you step that side. And then you go there. But this is not a cheap industry, really. You need to be prepared to face it, or you need to have that backup. In other countries, that's why we hear a lot of rumba artists, from where to go, from the song starts to the end, they're just praising these names. These are people that put in money into them. So there is making yourself big at home, and there's also striving. But you should understand that as you go out there, you should be big at home. Because I think there are a lot of times that you've been talking to certain artists, as you are talking with them, they are googling you, they are on your checking your numbers. Oh, this is Roberto from Zambia. Oh, this is General Ozzy. Oh, this is Petersen from Zambia. As you are talking, they are trying to check. What does he have? Instagram. Oh, YouTube, Twitter, and all that, so that they know exactly what they are dealing with. So make yourself big at home. It's kind of a little bit. It makes the work a little bit easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone in the room with a question?
Oh, questions. Oh, bring it right here.
Thematic.
Zagaze.
Yes, sir. Do I answer the question?
Yeah. Somehow.
Yeah.
Like two questions.
Not fully, but yeah.
I've got two questions.
Yeah.
First question, considering where we're coming from and where we are right now in terms of Zambian music, do you look back and are you pleased, or is it something that brings a frown to your face as to where we come from, the journey and what has happened in between?
Okay.
That's
I
question
think
number one.
before you, because you may lose my thought.
Okay, sure.
So let me just do with that. I think I'm happy with what has happened from where we started to date. There are a lot of things that have changed for the good and for the bad. I think the only thing that we need to do is probably look at history, see what we can adopt from there to bring to here and what we can just get done with, and try to say we cope with what is. So there's always good and bad. The new crop have brought certain components that are very good that we need to adopt with, and there are just certain things that we just need to get rid of. The biggest challenge is that most of the new guys, new cats, do not know exactly why certain things are the way they are, because they just happened and they think it works from here. It's more like the issue that they say, where you make a mistake of thinking things are happening when you just started reasoning. Yeah, they say never make the biggest mistake a human being can make is to think things only started happening when they started reasoning.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah, but when we always say, women nowadays, it's very easy to get them. No, it's always been like that. You're
Women
just
have been
young.
women.
You're just young and you're not in that realm of connecting with people. Or love life nowadays, all you have to do is... No, it's not nowadays.
Yeah.
That's the way it was.
It's like the red car theory.
Now you just grown up.
Yeah.
So you are now in that level of what. So I really don't frown. I'm happy to see, for example, I can give examples in Zambia right now.
Yeah.
If you are, what you can benefit from the corporate world, from society, from just everything, when you are big now, you couldn't even dream of them 10 years ago, even when you are at the big. Today, the bigger artist, an artist who's happening, is able to sit at home and know that 4 or 5 companies that are selling land will come knocking to his door and give him free land. Because he is big, and once they associate with him or her, people are going to see numbers and they will know about them selling land or whatever it is. So there are a lot of things that have happened. I see companies that sell vehicles, sell homes, do what, everything. They are ready now to bring this into the in the
to
arts
partner with
industry.
artists.
Yeah, which was like
Unheard of.
it wasn't. Yeah, you even walk into any corporate trying to look for sponsorship and what.
Yeah, but like, what do you do?
Yeah,
I'm an artist.
they're giving you peanuts and everything like that.
Yeah.
Today we have banks calling an artist to say, with your status and we are able to give you a loan.
Yeah.
And then back then you needed to actually show who employs you for them to give you.
Away from the music.
Yeah.
All right, my final question. Listening to you speak, one can easily tell there's a leader there. And you briefly touched on your political career at some point. Next year we have a general election. Do we see a comeback in that sphere for you?
So, in the past 7 years, I think I wasted a lot of my career into this political sector, whatever it is we'll call it, or this area of everything, which I think it's always good to get there when you've just accomplished certain things in life. It's something that you need to stay away from when you're still building
Vibrant.
an empire. Not really vibrant, but you need to have a certain backbone, mostly financial, and a certain status for you to really mingle with it. And just stay away when you are still fixing that, because it really drains. It's the only industry that drains without assuring you that it will give back. It's like paying school fees for your girlfriend.
What an analogy.
Because you're not sure if it's gonna come back. Once you graduate, she's moving away. So
Yeah, but I think you haven't fully answered the question. Does it mean we're seeing you in
no, I'm not
2026 on the ballot?
2026, I'm not doing anything political. I'm just right now I'm just concentrating on my music career. I want to see what I can do in the next 3, 4, 5 years. In the next 5, 8 years, with just concentrating on music.
Don't you feel like the work that you've done so far trying to push your political career might just...
So for me, the biggest reason that I got into politics, the first time was that I believe probably I could give change. The second time I believe that I will spark something in a lot of other people that will feel they can do it better than me, of my age. And I think I've accomplished that, because right now, in Zambia, a bunch of people of my age that probably never thought of mingling with politics are doing that. For me, that's a win. That's a win. And some of them are gonna take it, and some of them are doers. That when they get it, they actually deliver.
So if a party came knocking, what do you say?
Maybe I might.
With a party came knocking with full sponsorship.
Then we can talk. We cross the bridge when we're there. Right now, it's not something I'm dreaming. If it comes, probably then we hear what they have on the table.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm a socialist to start with, to just be. So the party came knocking, they have to know that I'm a socialist.
When you say
in reasoning.
Oh, okay. No, for a moment I'm thinking of talking socialist party.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and you're also
I'm a member of the Socialist Party because I'm a socialist in reasoning and everything.
Okay. Yeah, as we
something that I'm always free to discuss and change people into reasoning socialism.
Yeah. Okay. As we close, what should we expect from Petersen? Obviously, next year we should be expecting the festival, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
What else should we be expecting? Are we receiving any more music, new music soon?
So there's an album that I released in September this year, but it was during a time I was pushing the festival, so there was not much energy put into it. But after that, I think this time around, from now up to the time the next festival comes in, I think it will just be an issue of trying to push that Sokato album, do videos, tours, radio tours, and just push it across the country, and of course milk it.
Petersen, thank you very much.
No more questions?
I have thousands of questions.
DJ Blair Kami, our
super host.
Our international
DJ. Super promoter.
Okay, so we're talking in the car about video. So Petersen has got a lot of music. With videos that are not modern. Do you have any plans to modernize the videos and all that? Your songs are very, very good songs. But obviously now with TikTok and all this social media, I think your songs still touch a lot of people. But with the maybe I'm thinking with the new revamp of the video, it will get a lot more
visibility.
That's it. That's the idea. Thank you.
Oh yeah. So I also realized I have a lot of songs that made it big without videos. So I would prefer I put the songs without videos on video and probably deal with those ones with odd videos later, because I think as much as they do not have modern videos, but they still have visuals of an Out Petersen, and this is not just, there are people that connect with me because of just that. Their memories, and they are stuck with me and they support me because they relate with that. If I rush to redo certain things, I might just erase certain connections with certain people. There are people that love you because of a certain song and how you looked and how they felt. Yeah, you don't deny them that connection. So I think I'll start mostly with the songs that do not have videos, but they're quite good. If you dropped it today, it will still sound fresh and new to someone. For me, I always feel if a song it's never been heard in Mogadishu, if you take it there, it's a new song. Yeah.
DJ Wheezy has a question.
Yes,
I think I'll combine my questions.
Yeah.
You've been in the game for, I think, 20 years plus. Yeah, so what word would you give to these upcoming artists? And then the second one is, amongst all your songs, which one is your favorite song?
How's the part?
Which one is your favorite child?
We don't want the socialist answer.
So the word for a lot of the newer ones is mostly what people have always asked, but the most frequent question that I've always heard in that line is what makes you be still here. And so for newer artists, I think what I can always say, the only secret that keeps you happening and can make you stay in the longest period of time is just making sure that you connect with other artists and respect them. It is other artists that will mention your names in the most sensible corridors. Once you create an island, it will take you again to work so hard to recreate yourself. And so I went through this in my first 4 years, where when I hit, the first time I had the first album, I would say I was young and naive and full of myself. So I stepped on a lot of doors, I offended a lot of people, and I just believed I have everything myself. And it just took me as far as the music could play. When the music went down, I had nothing apart from me and the music that's no longer playing. But when I did my second album and invested my time in creating a network with other artists, I think even when my music stopped playing, I was still able to step on certain platform because my friends would think of me and push for me wherever they are. You know, they find an opportunity and they're thinking, which artist do you want to bring? My name comes up. I've seen a lot of artists that are very talented come and go, not because they are no longer talented, no, because they don't have anyone. You can never have the same zeal that you have when you just arrive, and you cannot keep people in the same excitement forever when they look at you, because every year in November, like in Zambia, schools offload new talent and new people from high school that are ready to grab society, that we're watching you from afar and want to get into that arena. And when they are new, the population really gets excited and they want to deal with those ones, not you. But it's how you relate with these new people and all the other artists that keeps you to say, even in a year that I wasn't musically very active. There are people like Yo Mapsu drops like his second album, but during the time he was dropping his second album, he picked up the call and called me to say, I want you on a song. The same time, B-Flock picked up the phone and like I was able to make a list. Chef is dropping an album, he's calling me. Not because I'm the smartest or not because I'm the most happening, because probably I'm approachable and I'm able to relate. And I think that's the biggest asset you can ever have in life, which is social capital.
PK, I know you said you're wrapping up. Bear with me, just one last question.
So my favorite song?
Yes.
Right now, my favorite song is one of the new album. It's called Lobina. Probably maybe because when I created it, I dreamt my mom came to sing it for me and left. So mostly there are tunes that come in the night and you tell yourself, when I wake up, I'll remember it. Then you wake up, you can't remember. So, but this one, when I dreamt of it and woke up, like it was still playing in my head. I got my phone, recorded it. Though she was singing some language I could not understand, but I just recorded the feel and the tone and everything like that. I put it away, I forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I'm going through my voice note, I find it, and I remember, oh, this song, you see, But if I didn't record it, I was gonna forget about it. Recorded it now, I enjoy it a lot.
I'm asking this question on behalf of the youngins, the upcomings. How easy is it to get a feature from Petersen?
Okay, so I've resolved to work with artists that I understand the character. Like I understand you and I feel like we can relate. Because I've realized many of the time is that the ones that you feel pity for because you want to help are the ones that are really ready to stab you. In a sense that you take longer to send the verse, you're already trending on social media. I sent him one. It's just, you understand?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
mostly when somebody says they want to work with me, I always want to see, and the young artists really won't look for you when they want to chance you. They just bump at you, they bump into you at a show. Then they're like, I'm done, I've been looking for you.
Yeah.
I want you on a song. Like, dude, if you were looking for me, you could have found me. Like, you really look for me. This is just chancing. And it doesn't add up. But those that you understand, you should understand that I am one of the few artists that has helped so many artists make it without signing them. I've never looked at someone's talent and see the potential that with them and opted that from their success I want to milk something. I've always just said, oh, Osi, yeah, I think you can sing. Yes, we can do what you waseme, and we do what you waseme. It blows. He becomes an artist of his own. I don't have anything to do with that. But the relationship between me and Osi today, when he calls me Papa. Not because he's younger than me very much, maybe by a year or two, but because he's more like, I'm like
Big bro.
Big bro, yes.
Yeah.
Big bro or a father to him. Same with Shaiman Shaizo.
Yeah.
It's somebody I saw in Livingston. I'm like, oh, you can work. Come to Lusaka, we work on something. Same with Kaladoshas.
Yeah.
These are people that had talent already, even without me. But what they just needed was a stepping stone
Yeah.
somewhere. Because I went through that also. I backed Mainza for the longest period of time. Played the role of Zimas after he died, do those chihuahua and everything. Like I worked with Mwembe Muntu, I worked with a lot of other established artists before I made it. And no one really kept me here and wanted to steal from me.
Yeah.
I own my music 100%. No other company or any person owns my right. It's me and my kids that own it. And I prefer and wish almost every artist can have access to their music. It's the biggest lesson that I always give people. So when I work with an artist, I'm not working, percentage, this one I'll get. In Namibia, I did a song with a girl called Linda, but she won like 6 awards in one night, won a car, won what. I'm done, but today she sees me, she knows this guy is.
She respects.
For me, that's the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one last question. Hopefully the last.
Thank you. This is as a London Zambian,
Yeah, man.
but you answered it a bit earlier, but just in the future going forward, obviously in London and places that we all look up to in this music industry, whether it's right or wrong, America, these certain places, obviously Nigerian music has done it what it needs to do. So for Zambia, is it just we need to plug in back home, we need to network more together, or do we just need, is it a money thing? You know what I mean? What in your opinion, how does Zambia now in the next 5 to 10 years, 5 years, even 3 years, get more on the map in these?
I would tell you that Nigerians are big in London because of Nigerians. Same with Jamaicans. And it is deliberate actions that these people from these countries do. I think if a community works together and say we're going to push this agenda, I think we can do that. And it's something that has to be cultivated into the Zambian mentality, that you make it. If you go to Davido's show today, yes, you find a lot of other people from a lot of other countries, but Nigerians will be prominent. And if you study it very well, you realize that among the people that organized for him to come here, there are Nigerians in there. And that's the only way we can grow as big. I would say Congolese are touring Paris because of the Congolese that are there, or they'll tour the rest of Europe. And they are making shows in stadiums and everything like that. So it's a deliberate policy, a deliberate action that a lot of Zambians have to make. Okay, we have a community, yes. Instead of just selling chikanda and whatever and doing all this show that let's start putting money together to create something that is able to bring. When we bring JK or Danny, it looks like, yes, Zambians have done something. Because we can look at the little efforts that Zambians were doing over the years from 2pin to date. You realize that we have a country like Malawi that is looking like, oh, we also want to push our artists, but the only way we can push our artists that we've seen that there's an established following of Zambians. We're going to push Malawian artists, but we'll bring in Zambian artists. So I think what is going on now when you hear Malawi and Zambia linking up is because some of the people want to tap that following. Before you realize it, there will just be a show of a Malawian artist and the Zambians will start go because you've been locked in. Yeah, so I will say it again. If there are Zambian clubs, if some Zambian opens a club in London, it only makes sense that Zambians goes to chew from there to support that and create a very strong platform. I think it's Uganda people that go to Uganda club. It's Nigerian people that go to Nigerian clubs. Everywhere you go. So if a Zambian makes a small shop or what, support him till he moves from that small shop to a bigger one. And it will be easier for I'll repeat what I said last weekend. There's an artist called Bian from the South Soul in of Kenya. They are not as big in Zambia. They are not big. If they just make a show for Bien or if any Zambian or anyone thought of making a show for Bien, it won't make it. But there's a guy who runs a restaurant and makes money every weekend, and he knows that I can pay this much. But into an artist from Kenya and said, I'll bring Bien and attach a bunch of Zambian artists to him. From where to go, from the oldest generation, he got JK to the newest, where he got Toela and the people in the middle here. And created a band around Bien. As much as it was showing that there are a bunch of Zambian artists there, it was too prominent that they're selling Bien. And probably people went to that show knowing 2 or 3 songs by Bien. But now he's big because of a Kenyan guy who did a deliberate move in Zambia. And it can only work like that.
So essentially, you've said it will take Zambians to push Zambian music.
Whether it's just a pub, whether it's a book. When a Zambian is launching a book, it is Zambians that will have to go there to take the numbers there. If there's a restaurant owned by a Zambian and they're saying they've got a buffet that people have to go there, whether it's for £5 or £10 a plate, it's Zambian that have to go there and support this. The moment we cultivate that into ourselves, it will be very easy. But we are ready to hear, oh, my friends from Kenya have got this, come together, fashion, shan, and we go there and support this. We're just supplementing the number of the Kenya. When you go there, you even find a bunch of.
We're almost closing, but things keep coming into my
I
mind with what you're saying.
say.
There's a culture that I've noticed with Zambians in terms of if you put up a show, I'm sure you've experienced it. You put up a show, this is how much people are supposed to pay at the gate. People start calling you as a promoter. Ah, boy, ni nzanga wadi for. Tinga boy tanginako free. I don't even exclude myself because someone is going to.
But I'll tell you that is part of business. You don't expect everyone to come and pay at your show. You sometimes just expect support numbers. Even back home when we make shows, they arrive at 5 of them, 3 pay, 2 walk in free. What you just need is to show that numbers are there. Because you're not going to make your profit in one show. What you create is a perpetual action and belief that every time it happens, it reaches a level where some that beg to walk in for free reach a level one day of saying, oh, you are doing this again. What? Oh, so what are you doing? Okay, let me just send something for you to sort out any expense. It's for me like who does a festival. It's people that asked for 5 free tickets in 2022 when I started, that were able to send me to pay for the stage.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But at the first time, I'm not looking at, this guy is just trying to use me. I'm trying to make money and then he wants to come in for free, or he's telling me I give him pass tags for what?
Yeah.
I create that relationship.
Yeah.
It won't be his habit. He's a human being. He'll feel shy at some point and want to prove a point and show me that we are friends and he wishes me well.
Yeah.
At first, it's about checking me, see how flexible I am. Because there are a lot of business-minded people that are smarter than me. And sometimes their approach is just trying to see if I'm a good person that they can work with. Some of them are able to buy 100 tickets and give them for free to the community. But they want to see if you are willing to work with people or you are just so rigid. Before you realize, there's a young businessman in Zambia called Remy Kangwa. He's never attended any of these shows that are being done in Zambia. But every concert he buys 100 or 50 tickets. But probably there was a time that he was able to beg for a ticket. But now he just supports everyone. So I think it's just about trying to understand, okay, yes, you need people financially, and you need people just to stand there, solidarity.
Yeah. Okay. As we close, when I did an interview with Roberto, he refused when I said, your last words. What are your last remarks?
The closing remarks.
Yeah.
Hey, you still wanted to say something?
Yes, I do. I actually do.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I want to say. Based on what you have said, I'm picking from what you've said. And that's the fact that Zambians need to support Zambians.
Yes.
And in this instance, we need to give credit where it's due to the likes of UK Zambia Events Limited. I think they've started something good, and they need that support.
Of course.
This is an appeal to Zambians. Say, let's support the likes of DJ Blair and the things that they have started. Yeah. Yes, we might not be there now.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll get there.
Yeah.
Ujama.
Yeah.
So it was just an addition.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Yes, sir.
It's not an addition, it's actually a question.
Yeah.
Final question.
Yeah.
This is the closing one. After this, please, you may shut down the camera.
We're not going to stop.
Maybe that's it.
I think this one is very important because I think it's something that, as an artist of my caliber, I kind of like foresee that it might happen, but then want to stop this tradition, and it's something that I know you probably have noticed. Does it bother you when you see this new generation of artists and the deemed disrespect towards artists of the previous generation, and how they perceive and want to seem to dim the light that you generously decided to light, a path that you decided to clear? You understand? Like, you decide to, you kind of like reach a point where you feel like you need to clear the path for the next generation of artists. Maybe if I say, for lack of a better term, to have it easy. And yet when the light is now shining on some of these new generation artists, they want to undermine the hard work, efforts, time, dedication, sweat, blood, name it, that you probably sacrificed yourself and the previous generation. How does this affect you, especially, for example, if today in time and era, you feel like you want to work with one of these new generation artists and they treat you almost like you are a nobody, and yet you paved the way? I say this because the first time I thought of working with certain artists is because I saw you put out a list of artists that you worked with in East Africa, and that for me was inspiring.
Oh yeah.
So do you feel like some of these guys are inspired when they look at your catalog and some of the things you've achieved? Do you feel like they feel inspired, or they just want to look at you and say, well, your time is past?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like 1,000 questions in one.
Yeah.
I hope you get my
Okay,
points.
I'll try to go around it.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I always want to say is that in any business, for you to survive in it, you need to understand where it comes from, or learn from the people that have always known how to go about. Because any difficult or challenge that you face today was already faced by someone. I'll go back to my first quote that I said, the biggest mistake that you can make in life is to think things only started happening when you started reasoning.
Yeah.
You should understand that the first time a promoter switches off the phones on you and disappears, it happened 20 years ago, and there's someone who knows how to deal with that. So when you arrive in an arena, it's always just better for you to learn from those. I was lucky that I had people that were quite upfront and quite bully. They would bully me to get to learn, maybe because they saw the potential.
Yeah.
When I hit, especially when my second album hit, Bobojan, like there was a time that almost all countdowns from 1 to 5 or 1, in that 10 songs, 3, 4, 5 are mine. To a level, but I started meeting people that were telling me, "Apa manje ndio uliko hapa, you're better than Danny." You understand?
Yeah.
If I'm too naive, I'll take that and miss the lesson I need to learn from Danny. But I was lucky that at some point in life, early, I had a chat with Moses Sakala of the Sakala brothers, who gave me this explanation. I don't know if he remembered. I'll come to answer the question. He said, when you are still a young artist, when you want to blow, you wish you can call as Israel, you wish you can call Roberto, you wish you could call JK and beg for a feature. But even if today you stood up and went to an artist like Yomap and say, I want to feature you, Yomaps is going to look at you and start thinking, who are you? Like, why should I do a song with you? What do I benefit out of it? Then miraculously, either the universe or God makes it happen that you have the biggest song in the land. That's your opportunity now to walk to any known artist and just go, Roberto, my name is Taf D. I'm the one who sang Bweteteteshen. Roberto is going to understand, yes, we have a connection now. He has some numbers, or I can add my weight to him now and legitimize him. But the biggest mistake that you make when you're still young and you don't understand is that you start thinking Roberto is your competition because you are the one with the most playing song. What you don't know is that there's no connection between you and your song. Whether your song plays 7 times in Wapula, you're not going to get tired at home because they are playing your song this side. That is just to tell you there's no connection. When it dies, it dies. So there's a certain prominence that you have to create now to be an artist apart from just your song. So whether you have a song or you don't have a song, there's a respect that has to be there with you. Like, Danny does not need a new song. He's still Danny. Yeah. Even the biggest artist right now with the most playing and streams is not bigger than Danny.
No.
So how do you get to that status? These are things now you need to learn as an artist. So when I started, I always just ran away from mentioning names, but there are artists that were like big. Some artists never made it big because of radio. Radio never played their song. Their song hit first. That radio started looking for their songs and started playing them. And these people never valued radio, DJ or radio chant because they never went to beg for a airplay. So they never begged anyone. They never created. They thought again it will happen that miraculously, without knowing that what you need to create is a family, social capital.
Yeah.
So for me, when I see the younger guys that wanna come out like, now it's us who are happening, you are no longer, like I've seen this movie before. When I started with chaps like you, who are no longer anywhere. That even today, if they pick a phone and call me and say, put me on your show, there's nothing they are bringing to the table. So when I see, JK has got a word that he used to say when he sees such behavior, I would say, finish them before they grow. It's like, leave them. Don't force yourself. But I was lucky that I remember one time in 2007 in the showgrounds, at the peak of my album, my first album, Danny grabbed me by the hand, by force, pulled me aside. My child, calm down. the industry does not operate like this. These songs will play in the next 3 months, 4 months. They will no longer be there. He spoke by force. If I was not very fast to understand what he was saying, I could have been gotten offended. And a number of times he's done that. So yes, I see a lot of young artists that think this is when it is happening now, so it's them. I remember meeting one who saying, we meet at some white party, Yabakwitu, and then we are talking, and it's like, during your time, Chaleli Rapada, no Mbapa, Shan. And I'm looking, I'm like,
what's his name?
Yeah. So
Who's this chap?
So what I just understood is that he does not understand that the audience that is chasing is the audience that I'm running away from, because they are my children in that audience. I don't want to mingle with it. And I'm not after tapping any numbers from that. I have an audience of well-established fans that I need to give a service to, and then that have always followed and loved me. That probably if I created a show where it looks like these type of your fans are going to be there, my fans won't even come out. They'll just say, no, stinga endeko. So I need to create a show. You see, for example, the show that we just had recently in London, I was able to stand there and say, this is the crowd that I want.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the certain crowd that I didn't want. And it's easier for me. You cannot have a wide cast of everyone is on your back in your basket. I have kids that daughters that are 20 years or 19 years, so I know what they like, and they are not my target market. And I cannot compete with their age mates in entertaining them or creating music or concepts that appeal for them.
Yeah.
So when I see the young artists, I'm like, you have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
My first album launch, I did it with Jonto, not because Jonto had the best music or what, because I needed to learn with somebody who had seen it happen. My second album, I did a double album launch with JK, because JK knew how to get sponsors, and I learned that. And so on and on, to a time where I just sit, whether I'm hired, I'm not hired, I'm able to organize my own shows. Like I tour the whole country because people hire, not people because people hire me, because I'm able to create a tour myself, employ people to run on the ground, and create the function and the tour that I want. And if I see a younger guy trying to act like he's arrived, I know he hasn't arrived. I know he's on his way by. Because I've seen it a lot of times. And even during our time, there are other artists that it's time for us to have a show together as a group of artists. He comes, he parks his car very far away with his dancers, sits in his car. Till the time his time comes to perform, he just comes to perform, drive back and go. The next time you see him again at the show. Now that is not called at the show. He's nowhere to be seen and cannot be among the topic. He's now got a guy, no, I'm shows here, and like, we don't relate.
Yeah.
I'm a kamba so chimo wakambi.
In the news, I don't want to mention.
I also want to pay homage to a person who put this together, and DJ Blair. I want him to say something. Are we expecting a show next year?
Yeah.
Any details you can share right now? Well, what can you say to the people that attended?
Yeah, so me, I'd like to thank Petersen, Roberto, Exile Nalu, and Chester for coming through. Representing Zambia.
The 2080.
Yeah, and obviously my Jews here, my boys. These are the guys when I come to Zambia who are, these are my boys. I'm with them all the time. So, Traumatic and DJ Bidwizi, these are my boys. Thank you so much for coming through, and everybody that came through. Tasha, the dancer, Tasha, and everybody that came through. It was a very good independence. That was really, really good. I enjoyed that. So we're gonna have again next year, 24th of October this time around. Details are gonna come soon. For more details, check out our page, UK Zambian Events Limited, on social media. Website is coming also soon. We're gonna have another show in February.
Yep.
We're gonna have another one in April. We're gonna have another one in July, maybe August after election. We'll see what the mood is in Zambia, whether we need to pre-celebrate or pro-celebrate. That makes sense. And then obviously the big one, independent. So look out for 4 shows from our team coming through. I'd like to give a big shout out to my bro, Oscar Mianda, aka DJ Sniper, and everybody else who was involved, Peter, Chaiman here, and everybody else. So thank you so much. It's you make it look easy, which is very good. So thank you to everybody.
Okay, we clap now.
Nice one.
Okay, last question. What is Zaga Life? Zaga Life. Zaga Life. What is Zaga Life?
Okay, Zaga Life is a word I created. Okay, so Zaga. First and foremost is that I was a fan of Beanie Man.
Yeah.
And me, I have only 2 artists that really moved me and brought me here.
Yeah.
It's very funny that they're in parallel lines, but I create music according to and think of life according to these 2. Beanie Man and Werason of Wenye Musica Mesomere. So Zaga is just something I started screaming in my songs. Then there came a time in life when I think I went through a very rough time. And I started realizing that time is the best. It aligns everything and puts everything in. You don't panic. I don't panic. So no matter how much pressure, even if it's got deadline, I can see the deadline is reaching me in 15 hours or 24 hours or 3 days or what. I just sit and say, this is Zaga Life, I'll let it play out. So for me, Zaga Life or Zaga Life is the life of never panicking and everything falls in place. And it does.
Yeah.
It always does. I've never really reached to a point where I feel like, I wish that happened, but it didn't happen. No. It always falls in. It's Zaga Life.
Yeah. Sir, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate it.
Serious thing we are dealing with.
Thank you.
Yes,